não vou aceitar ver outro time levantando a marreta lá no meu país.
Thinks he's live? Alright.
Pode ter certeza que a gente vai trabalhar o dobro para erguer essa marreta no Brasil.
Did he?
There's no hiding. Not for you. Not for me. Try not to disappoint me, soldier.
What an incredible sixth invitation we've had here. Brazil, the heart, the beating heart of Invitational, and of course, of Rainbow Six Siege. Our entire game that has spanned now 9 years that we love so very much. There's more to come, of course, always in the future, and that's what
that wasn't it, was it?
At every single event.
Nah.
But SI
No, there's more. There's got to be more.
All of them.
That's already been released on Twitter.
We're a massive community. We're all around the world. Our events travel to show that, to show it in the players, in the talent that are part of
No.
Of course, our production squads as well. For all of you watching, I know you're looking forward to the next big thing, the next step, the big changes that are coming to the game, of course, the esport, all the upgrades, more for tomorrow. But for the reveal of our latest operation, you really need to savor in what makes SI so special. It started all the way back in 2017 in Montreal in a tiny little studio, but the idea, the flicker was there. It was all about three things, three pillars: the community, the esport, and of course, the future game updates. Of course, the community is you, those that are here around us, here in Sao Paulo, you watching at home.
Go to YouTube? Wait, what? Is it on YouTube now?
Well, we had 20 teams, we're down to 6, and now to 3 to make it to that grand final. And they've made it all so worth it and beautiful to see. And as for that very next step, it's time to uncover who lies behind the shadows. And be careful, he's quick on the draw. It's time for Operation Deadly Omen. Enjoy.
Here we go, chat. Here we go, chat. I'm nervous, chat. Nah, I don't think we need a new. We've got a new map. We can ban Leia. Big thank you to Ubisoft for providing me with this opportunity.
Hello everyone,
much love.
and welcome to Operation Deadly Omen.
Hello.
I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, here to give you all the details on the first season of Year 9 of Rainbow Six Siege. We've got some big updates to shake up the meta, a sinister new operator, and maybe even a special guest at the end? Let's not jinx it.
Oh.
To get us started, please welcome Creative Director Alexander Karpazes.
Year 9 Season 1 starts with a bang, and it's all about Operation Deadly Omen. You'll see huge meta shifts this season, where we're bringing
the shield rework,
changes to the attachment system, and much more. The locker system is being introduced, a new way to manage your inventory. The next operator joining our ranks is Deimos. Now that he's captured by Team Rainbow, he won't be joining them, but he will be playable. We can't wait for you to see more about him. On top of all of this, we're adding something special to the ranked rewards this season. A super rare headgear for those of you who can climb the ladder and show it off.
Our next topic is a big one.
Ranked rewards, chat?
Its medal on the test server,
Thermite headgear?
The revamped shield mechanic is ready for prime time. Game director Joshua Mills is here to present this huge change and talk about the new tactical possibilities of shields.
So right off the bat, I'd love to take the opportunity to again thank our community for checking out our live
Oryx
test.
shield. Yeah, Oryx is going to
Why
be
are
more
we changing the
playable.
shields? The current state of the shields has something that I saw a comment for this and I thought it was perfect. It was headshot lottery. That's kind of what the hipfire sequence is, where it's just a random headshot can catch you and does not feel good regardless of what side of the shield you're on. With this package, one of the big things was to make sure that every action a shield operator can have follows a very simple principle. Be defensive. Be defensive 90% of the
Time to buy Monty
If you wanna be
Elite.
offensive, then you got to give something for that. This is the idea that reloading behind the shield is now safe. But if you want to go for the kill and you want to use your weapon, you have to open yourself up. You have to become vulnerable. Obviously, it's reinforcing the fantasy of being the tank of your team. We want you to be able to be in that front line. We want you to be able to carve away the territory. And ultimately, we want you to feel powerful. Right now, we're focusing on the ballistic shields. So this is Fuse, Blitz, Montaigne when the shield is not extended. There's a bunch of new things that you can do. One, you can break through full health barricades. You have a melee pushback, and it does damage. You can reload behind the
Blitz
shield.
rushes are going to
Additionally,
have a
you
whole
activate
new
triple
meaning,
gap
guys.
From behind the shield, as well as deploy your throwables. You will actually move the shield just a little bit to make sure that arm gets out there. Now that said, your head will always be protected. The free look. This is actually what's replacing the hipfire. This means that as Monty, for example, you can approach a doorway and you can look to the left, look to the right, check if there's traps. But more importantly, if you're working as a team, you can hold your position while you feed that intel to them. As we can see, attackers and ballistic shields are getting a lot of functionality. They're able to sprint, better rotations throughout the map, but that said, a defender can light up that shield. This will actually stop a shield operator from sprinting. This is one of the key things you can do to start coordinating with your team or setting up for the flanks. With the new addition of the defensive melee, this allows our shield operators to get up close and personal. Something, generally speaking, you don't want to happen.
Of course you are, FaZe.
You're not out of options. It's important to recognize that whenever you do get hit by a knockback, you have a window of opportunity.
ACOG
in which
Pulse?
you can
Wait,
light
what?
up that shield.
Did Pulse have an
Shoot
ACOG?
legs, do something in that reaction, but again, not a position you want to find yourself in. So it's best to use the suppressor fire to keep the meta distance.
Castle ACOG.
So this is the foundation of our shields going forward. It sets us up for the opportunity to
That was an
revisit
ACOG on
different parts of our
Castle.
shields, including our extended shields. We'll have a little bit more to talk about later this year.
While the Siege team continuously works to improve player protection, the launch of a new season is a great time to introduce impactful new measures. Updates targeting ranked mode and anti-cheat are on the way. And here to tell you more are associate producer Killian Callow and player protection and game security director Emmanuel Larive.
With Deadly Omen, we're introducing new restrictions to play rank.
Dude.
Rank is our most competitive playlist, the place where you compete against other players based on your performance and skill level. The restrictions target two different groups, returning and new players. Siege is a constantly evolving game. The meta changes, there's new operators, new maps, balancing updates, or even gameplay additions. We know it's not a good experience to be with someone in a team who is not aware of the latest game updates. From now on, we will consider a player
Balti with the
inactive
flex.
when that player hasn't played any regular PvP match for
Oi,
an
FaZe.
when coming back, the
Will
inactive
Stupid
player
OP up
will need to rediscover the game
soon?
by winning 5 quick match or standard matches to unlock access to ranked. The other restriction is regarding new players. A new player is any player who hasn't played ranked before the release of Deadly Omen. From now on, besides the clearance level 50 requirement to play ranked, the new players will need to have in their collection at least 10 attacking and 10 defending operators.
I mean, that's pretty
The
standard.
focus of the new restrictions is to preserve the competitive integrity of ranked while enhancing the experience for all players.
Banland data is an amazing system. The goal of it is to better detect and act on cheaters that are ruining the game experience of everybody. Right now, we're moving from an old model to a new model that will be based on machine learning. This is a key update for our anti-cheat strategy. We will have conservative threshold to make sure that we're not impacting fair and regular players.
Is this hardware
We
banning?
only want to catch cheater and the people that are ruining your game experience. we want to clean matches in a proactive way. Our long-term strategy toward cheating and ban data will be exposed on the Year 9 overview. Player protection toward anti-cheat or player behavior are top priority for the project on Siege.
In addition to accumulating
Is it
resource
hardware
skills
banning,
and
faulty?
finely tuned instincts, Siege players have a tendency to collect stylish looks. So we've got a new inventory system to help you make the most
This is
of
sick.
your
This is
cosmetic
sick.
collection. UX designer Nicholas Joshua Klein is here from Ubisoft Berlin to introduce the locker.
Oh, has it? Okay. But for Siege? I thought it wasn't on
We're excited
Siege.
to announce a new edition coming to Rainbow Six Siege, the Locker. The Locker adds a comprehensive way of browsing your entire collection of cosmetics.
Whoa.
Players will be able to find their items in different categories, such as appearance for headgear and uniforms, or weapons for weapon skins, attachment skins, and charms. Categories hold all items of that type for all operators. And
Check
can be
out the
sorted by
renown.
different criteria, such as operator, name, or rarity. Players will also be able to manage their items in more in-depth ways, such as browsing the latest item category, as well as marking items as favorites. Once an item is marked as a favorite, you'll be able to find it in the Locker's own favorites category, as well as on top of your item lists when customizing your operators over in the operators tab. The latest item category lets you find any item you may have received recently, no matter where it came from. Shop, pack, battle pass, it's all in there. Players will also be able to access the pack manager from the Locker, right as the first option on the screen. In the following seasons, players can expect more updates coming to the Locker. As always, we will continue to listen to your feedback.
In Operation Deadly Omen, you'll
W
want to take
renown?
a fresh look at your loadouts as big changes are coming to attachments, including the return of a fan favorite combo. Which combo, you ask? To tell you about that, we'll need game designer Matthew.
Oh!
With Deadly Omen, we're going to upgrade the ADS and the attachment system. We're going to bring this awesome gunplay and gun feel that we have in Siege, and we're going to make it even better. So for the ADS, we're slowing down the time it takes for you to come from the IP to the fully ADS state. This means that if you have a plan, you're in control of an angle, you're going to get rewarded here. These changes also allow us to have more creativity and more control on what kind of bonus we can give.
I'm W.
Currently in the game,
Faulty.
we have the Universal 1X, the 1.5, the 2.0, 2.5, and 3.0. In Deadly Omen, we're reshuffling them into 4 categories. We're going to have the
There it is.
the Universal 1X, the Magnified Scope, and the Telescopic Scope. These 4 new categories allows us to give them different bonuses. Iron Sights will have 10% ADSP. Universal 1X will have 5% ADSP. Magnified Scope will have no bonus on the ADSP, but will in turn provide you with a 2.5 zoom level. The Telescopic Scope will have also no...
Did the
bonus
1.5
on the
look
ADSP,
different?
But it will have a 3.5 zoom level. We are removing the 1.5. We're going to keep the casing, the object, and we're going to put it in the Magnified Scope section. As we're changing the optic section, we have to redistribute them. This means that our defenders will have limited access to the magnified scope, no telescopic scope there, but on the attacker side, we'll have access to magnified and telescopic scope on mostly all of our operators.
W.
That means Ash, that means the R4C, so if you weren't there back then, we're back. So the laser.
Ash
It's a
R4C.
cool object, it's this awesome attachment, but we don't do it justice, right? We're going to change the hipfire bonus into an ADS speed bonus. A 15% bonus, this is huge. But you'll have to be careful on where you're aiming. So now that we have 2 categories that affect the time it takes to go in ADS, while the angle grip is a bit redundant in this current form, what we're going to bring in Deadly Omen is a 20% reload speed bonus. So if you've been keeping up with Siege, well, last year we changed the reload. This is such an important new change for you now. If you thought that reload speed was very spicy for attachment, well, we have the horizontal grip, a new attachment that will be available for our primary weapons. This one will provide movement speed bonus. So if you want to
Oh
zoom
my
around,
gosh.
that's the one. The vertical grip will remain the one attachment that you want if you want to manage vertical recoil, but we're making it 15% instead of 20% bonus. As you can see in Deadly Omen, there's tons of changes to the attachment system. I suggest that you go in the shooting range, you try all of those new options around, because you have to try them out.
Year 1 all over again.
We're just a few updates away from the full reveal of the new operator, Deimos. But first, here's creative director Alexander Karpazes with more on what's coming.
No, so horizontal grip, it'll give you no, the only thing it'll give you is a movement buff, movement speed.
A big,
or is it reload? I can't remember.
That's coming this season is pre-visualization of projectiles. These are all the gadgets that are throwable. When you're quickly aiming, you'll have a pre-vis trail, and when you stop and pause for a bit, you'll have a completed arc. For experienced players, this is not about lowering the skill ceiling. Instead, this is giving you the confidence to set up sights quickly.
Oh, I don't know if I like that, chat.
That we've all had, where you throw a C4, it gets caught on a window ledge, and now you hate yourself.
Oh, I don't know if I like that, chat.
We have a lot of gadgets that are throwable, each with its own unique way of being thrown, and this gives a lot more confidence and a lot more power to the player to do the strategy that they want to do. And for those of you who don't want the system turned on, there's always an option to toggle it off as well.
Okay. But, yeah, we can turn it off. We can turn it off. But, I mean, that's good for newbies. Maybe like myself.
Siege, and it's one that's very unique to us. We want to improve it and make sure that it's a lot more responsive, especially when it comes to approaching repel.
That's fast!
And repel. Making sure it's a lot snappier, that it's more intuitive, and gives you the power to actually play on a wall and take an objective. And we've done some work on the mocap side as well, making sure that it feels right and also it looks right.
That's very quick.
Last season in Operation Deep Freeze, we introduced Versus AI.
I mean, I'm all for it. Buff the attackers.
This season, we're expanding these modes significantly. With improved AI behaviors, additional
Cog,
and more
Whopper's happy.
The dev with those details is technical architect Alex Busby.
Year 9 Season 1 is a big season for the Versus AI playlist. We're adding 5 new maps to the playlist, meaning players can play against the AI in Chalet, Cafe, Bank, Consulate, and Oregon. The Versus AI playlist was introduced last season with 1 map and 5 operators for the defenders to play as.
Dude, that 1.5 looks like it's got way more recoil
and the AI
with the zoom.
Play as 2 new operators, Melusi and Alibi. On top of that, we're running 6 new operators.
Look how slow the ADS was.
Players will be able to use Ash, Finker, Buck, Jackal, Lion, and Iana. Year 9 Season 1 isn't just about new content. The AI will be getting better.
It might be on the finals, Zach.
They will be less easy to bait. We've analyzed how they play against players and improved our models and our behaviors, so hopefully they'll provide more of a challenge to our more experienced players. The Versus AI playlist is not the only feature that is getting a big content drop this season.
Dude.
The training playlist was introduced last season as Map Run. This season, we're introducing 4 new maps to this playlist: Skyscraper, Coastline, Border, and Night Haven. We have big ambitions for both the Versus AI and the training playlist. Each season, we'll see more content, better behaviors, more player-like AI, and hopefully positive feedback from the community.
This season's operator balancing target is a zombie. And we're also making some tweaks to LMGs, which game designer
Azami's getting nerfed.
Will tell you all about.
Only Azami? What about Solus? Fenra?
Azami's ability to reshape the map has changed how defense is played in Siege. She's brought new gameplay and new strategies, and that's always great, but she's bringing some frustrating situations.
She's got less Kibas.
The first one is that Kiba barriers can be deployed from afar, and this is causing attackers to have issues destroying them. And the second one is that explosives are the main way to deal with them, and this is causing a lot of stress on attackers' operators lineup and also on the explosives economy. From now on, Kiba barriers will be vulnerable to bullets. For example, the 5.56 from Thermite will require 36 bullets to destroy a Kiba barrier. The 4.17 DMR will require 11 bullets, and the Supernova shotgun will require only 3 shells. As always, in battle, we'll keep an eye on these changes and iterate in the future if it's required.
LMG update?
After the
Rip phase
recoil overhaul that we did on year 7, LMGs have become less and less used by the players. we want to deploy a set of changes that are based on the main attributes of LMGs. LMGs are heavy weapons capable of offering great support fire. We choose two main changes for this patch. The first one is that we will review every recoil on LMGs and make them easier to control. You should expect a recoil in between what we had in Year 7 and what we have right now. The second change is that LMGs will make operators move 10% slower. Remember that we release a new attachment, the horizontal grip, that will help you to increase your speed by a 5%. So this can help you to counter this change. These changes should incline players to play LMGs more like a support weapon rather than an entry kill weapon.
You're going to be slower holding the LMG.
Operator who gives Operation Deadly Omen its ominous name. Deimos joins the attacking team armed with his vendetta and a gadget to help him track and hunt down his foes. Creative director Alexander Karpazis is here to share the insights on this operator's design. Then we'll go to director of gameplay design Jeremy Carvin and game designer Justin Larange Aluwalia for details on Deimos' threatening gadget.
Here we go, chat. She's getting a bit zesty, isn't she?
Deimos is not a new character to the world of Siege. This is somebody that we've been working on for over a year. And we wanted to make sure that this character had teeth, that he still remained a villain even when he was captured. We wanted to give him
Deimos Elite skin's gonna go hard, bro.
His identity. He's inspired by Bass Reeves, a historical character who could be a sheriff or an outlaw himself. The character went through a lot of iterations when it came to the mask. We wanted something that kept all of the players guessing who he is, and we went through a dozen of masks that fit the profile
of
somebody who is always thinking, who is very strategic.
That's a badass mask, chat.
This device idea comes from the US military, which has developed a type of drone that we always wanted to introduce into Siege. These are flying machines shaped as small helicopters, and they are very fast, hard to see, and they can scan and spy quickly what's going on around and detect an enemy. We wanted a device that could create a link between him and his target, and this piece of technology was the perfect element. And Defender, beware, because when you see this flyer, this is just a matter of time before Deimos shows up.
One by one, every operator dies. That's the promise Deimos made when he made his devastating first appearance last year, and it's a promise he intends to keep. Deimos specializes in hunting down his targets with ruthless efficiency. To that end, he's bringing a collection of small probes called Deathmark trackers. These little machines will seek out their target no matter where they are on the map and relay their location to Deimos and only to Deimos for a period of time. Of course, it can't be said that Deimos isn't the sporting sort. While Deimos' Deathmark tracker is active, he'll reveal his own position to his prey, albeit with slightly less information. He'll also restrict himself to his custom revolver for the duration of the hunt, though as his victims soon find out, that's hardly a disadvantage.
Oh my gosh!
To use a Deathmark, Deimos first needs to identify a target. He can do this by having him or his allies scan enemies or their gadgets during the prep phase or action phase. This will add them to Deimos' target list. Deimos can cycle through targets using the alternate ability mode input. Once Deimos has his target, he can use the ability button to toss up one of his Deathmarks and start the hunt. Deimos will start the round with 0 Deathmarks, and then over the course of the round, he will accumulate more until he reaches his maximum.
Oh my gosh.
The tracker will take a few seconds to find its target, during which everyone on both teams will
Dude, this guy's getting banned, bro.
To prepare for the situation to come. Once the tracker has found its target, the hunt begins, and will continue.
Can you not shoot it?
Until either the timer runs out, or Deimos or the target is dead.
Can he stand in a mute jammer?
If Deimos doesn't like the matchup, he can cancel the ability at any time using the gadget button.
Oh my god, he's pinging Cav.
Deimos has 2 primary options. The first option is the AK-74M. This is a decent assault rifle with a large magazine, for when all you need is to just rain down bullets on the enemy. Alternatively, he can bring the M590A1. This is the SAS shotgun of choice.
Visual Cav counter.
This gun is great for making rotates or for a quick corner peek.
Oh my gosh.
Though, is the big iron on Deimos' hip, the 44 Vendetta. This brand new revolver is Deimos' signature weapon, and it's easy to see why. In the veteran's hands, it's a fast, accurate, and deadly machine of death. 2 shots
That thing's
from this
got
gun
no
is
recoil.
enough to kill anything that moves. And with its clean sights, high destruction, and high mobility, it'll make sure to take.
You should be getting the charm now.
Deimos comes equipped with either
Or is
frag
that the
grenades
final?
or hard breach charges. Frag
Oh
sanitizer
my
rate is
gosh.
allowing him to flush out enemies in entrenched positions. On the other hand, hard breach charges allow Deimos to bear down on a site
Frags.
secured an area.
Frags
Either way,
and
Deimos
hard
will make
breach.
sure that no one can hide from him. Deimos is a 2 health, 2 speed operator.
Oh
His
my.
balanced approach is made so that he can push aggressively on the enemy without having to worry about taking a stray bullet or 2. Deimos' ability can take one piece of the defender equation off the board, but he can also weaponize the intel that he provides. A coordinated team.
Look at everyone
can use
running
Deimos' exposed
ACOGs.
position either as bait or as a misdirect. New players will find that Deimos' kit is quite powerful and very effective at hunting down single targets and taking them out.
Oh my gosh.
This can be a bit risky in solo play, but if you coordinate with your team and share that intel, you can get a lot of benefit out of it. We can think of operators like Ashe, Zofia, Blitz, or Ying. They would all be perfect for
Look
that
at his
job.
symbol.
Deimos might be able to hunt down operators, but smart defenders will also protect themselves with traps and flanks. Operators who can anticipate or disable traps, like IQ or Thatcher, and flank watch operators, like Nomad and Gridlock, are great additions to make sure that Deimos doesn't have to worry about additional variables on his hunt.
Bad aim, bad
Are
aim.
Small and fast, making it nearly impossible to avoid once they
I know, FaZe.
However, with the right tech, it is possible to hide from them or avoid them entirely.
Counters.
Gadgets that disable electronics, such as mutes jammers,
Yes.
two-brow Zoto canisters, can help mask an operator's presence, hiding them from a deathmark tracker before they find them. If you're too late and already getting tracked, these devices can still help you. though
W.
they'll only
Okay,
last for
that's
the
fair.
duration of the disabling effect. If the disabling ends before the deathmark does, then it'll pick up right where it left off. Vigil is uniquely suited to dealing with Deimos. His ability to deny intel also applies to deathmark trackers. Deimos is a terrifying
W.
operator.
Vigil's gonna
His
give a
ability to
slight
control
buff.
The flow of battle means that nobody is safe. When Deimos is on the board, he's a problem, and he needs to be dealt with.
Oh my gosh.
Now that you've gotten all the details from the devs, let's get some impressions from a special guest. Someone in the community who's played a lot of Siege.
Here we go, chat.
And recently played an early hands-on session with Operation Deadly Omen. Please welcome Jinxie.
Let's do it. This is a sick-ass gun. When he's in the right hands, he could be a 10 out of 10 operator because it's going to have that double ping effect, right? The other attackers don't have that ping. So if your communication stays good and Deimos can actually call out where the roamers are, you can destroy roamers. And I can say his secondary was one of the most fun guns ever. Like I could make so many line of sights through like 3-4 walls, like long range. It was sick. Ace, baby, ace! Oh yeah, this op's insane. This op's insane. The thing with Deimos and what he promotes more than anything is communication and call-outs. It's gonna teach players to actually roam with discipline because like recently the ranked meta, not Pro League, but the ranked meta is just everyone running around. So that operator would actually shift the meta. When I found out Ashe R4C ACOG was coming back, I almost shit my pants. And then like they even brought back Buck ACOG and all the other iconic ACOGs. Castle has an ACOG? So I think next is Jaeger. Deimos is so good. I'm out.
Play the season test server for Operation Deadly Omen starting next week. Take the new shields for a spin, experiment with new attachment upgrades, and see how devious Deimos really is. Remember, whether you're in the test server or just playing as usual, please report issues you encounter to our
Alright, chat.
for a
There we
chance
go.
to earn some rewards. We're also hyped for the live reveal of Year 9 of Rainbow Six Siege tomorrow at the finals of the Six Invitational in Sao Paulo. Until then, here's one more thing to celebrate. Happy Lunar New Year.
Elite? Is that Ying? Ying. Holy crap, chat. W, what do we think, chat? Holy shit. Holy shit. W's. Alright, chat. Holy crap. I've got some edits to do. Coming up to a 9-hour stream, chat. We're going to hit 9 hours and then I'll stop it.
Operation Deadly Omen coming very,
Good night,
very
bro.
soon. And you know what? Next week,
Catch you guys.
we can start trying the game all on the test server. So I'm very excited to see it. We're going to debrief it real quick because there's so much to talk about.